Hey guys, last week I made this cleaver from a farrier's rasp. I had a lot of people ask me if, because of all the grooves that are in the rasp, does that make it really hard to clean after you've been cutting? So today I'm going to be cutting vegetables, a big piece of meat. My bird needs some beef heart, so I'll be cutting that up. I'm trying to get as messy as I can in here and see how easy it is to clean, so you know if it's even worth trying one for yourself. All right, so now I'm gonna get to testing. Um, so I file these, or I ground them down a little bit with a flap disc. You can, it looks like there's still a lot of the grooves in there, but they're really flat, and it doesn't hurt at all. There's no sharp edges, and on this side it still looks pretty deep, but these are also really flat. I think when I do it again, I will go a little bit flatter, but this will be a good test to see if anything gets caught in those grooves. And after the testing, I was chopping bones and wood, and the edge is still really sharp, and there's no, I don't know if you can see or not, there's no sort of damage. So it's held up really well. So now I've got some broccoli I'm gonna start chopping. I wanna see how different foods are gonna act. With vegetables, probably not gonna be, getting it up here. It's gonna stay more in the bottom part. I'll also be doing meat, and we'll see how that goes. So first I've got this piece of broccoli. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna get too high on the grooves, but I'm gonna try and be as messy as I can. I've got two whole ones that I'm gonna do. I'll just show this first one though. I'm hoping I can get some pieces in the grooves. I'm also gonna scrape it, just to try and force some pieces in there. And you can see some pieces, but a lot of it's just on the surface and not actually in the grooves. So after chopping up both of those, now I'm going to see how easily I can wash these. I'm hoping just to get it with running water, and if not, I'll try to use a brush. It's coming off really easily. This side had a little bit bigger chunks, but those are washing away easily too. At least with vegetables, it looks like it won't be an issue with getting stuck in those grooves. I plan to take my bird up in the mountains to hunt today, but it looked like it was snowing up there, so I'm just going to be using this beef heart as training. So I'm just going to fly him in the backyard. So I'm hoping I can get some of this in the grooves. It's not very tall. And after this, I will be cutting a taller piece of meat. This last piece I used as a part that goes on as a lure. When I fly him in my backyard, I have him hooked to this line. I don't like to fly him where there's cars. there wasn't a lot of meat left on with that beef heart. So now I'm going to try a bigger piece. This is a New York steak I'm going to be cutting. It is a lot taller. It's taller than my knife, so I should be able to get some pieces in there. And with this first cut, there really wasn't any pieces left on the blade. So I'm going to try it again. On the second one, this one did get some pieces in the grooves, it looks like. And after I washed it, I did end up using this knife probably for about another hour cutting, just to see if I could get any more pieces on. And this is just with running water. I didn't use a pressure washer or anything. This is just from the faucet. And on this first one, it got most of it off. There were a couple pieces left in there. So I'm going to try just using the running water again to see if I can get those out, or if I need to use a brush. And on the second rinse, it got all the pieces out. There's nothing left. So it was really easy to clean. So for a final test, I took this cucumber and I was seeing if I could force some pieces in there. And this really shows just how flat the rasp is. Even though it looks like the grooves are pretty deep, this wasn't doing anything. There might be a couple pieces in there, but I really couldn't see any. The grooves really aren't that sharp on this one. Pretty flat. There might be some in there. But I'll see what happens if I get it really messy in there. So I'm going to go try something else. So along with the cucumber, I rubbed it in this mud and really packed it down to see if this would be tough at all to clean. And it wasn't. This came out just as easily as the broccoli. You guys, thanks for watching this video. In answer to that question, is it hard to clean out of the grooves? It's not hard at all. I never had to scrub it. I got it out just with water. But if there was something deeper, or if you make one yourself and you don't flatten it as much, I'm sure you could just scrub it out. It was really easy, and I love this knife. It performs really well. With all the testing I did in my last video, I'm going to be making another one where I'm going to be going step by step through the entire process. I did learn some things, and there's things that I wish I would have done different with this knife, so I'll be going over all those. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe so you get notified, and I will see you in the next one.